Hello, this is Philip from Marine Magnetics, and in this video we will walk through the system function test for the SeaSPY2 magnetometer system using the Bob data acquisition software. This process ensures your equipment is fully operational and ready for use surveying. First, set up the SeaSPY2 for regular operation by connecting all the equipment as outlined in the operations manual or the setup video. You will also want to ensure that the magnetometer is kept away from any metallic objects. If you are on a survey vessel, you can deploy the SeaSPY2 away from the boat, or if you are on land, you can use a plastic tote or wooden frame to move it away from the ground. Once everything is connected, open Bob. We will use the Setup Assistant to quickly start a new survey. Please note that this quick setup is only suitable for system testing and not for surveying. To set up your system for surveying, you will also need to connect to a survey GPS. We will first enter a survey name and select the appropriate magnetometer. We can then skip to step 3 to connect to your magnetometer. We will need to select the proper COM port and baud rate. The COM port will be created when your isolation transceiver is connected to the computer, and the baud rate for the SeaSPY2 is 115,200. Finally, we can select the Sync to PC option in step 4 and click Done to start a new survey. Once you are in the main Bob interface, we will switch to the terminal view for the magnetometer. The toggle is at the bottom left corner of the screen to switch between the terminal and table views. You will also need to uncheck the Write Protected checkbox to be able to enter commands in the terminal. With all the equipment powered up, cycle the power to the isolation transceiver. You should see a series of messages appear in the terminal, confirming that the system is powered up and ready. These messages include the software versions and SeaSPY2 serial number. Next, we will check the isolation transceiver's internal clock function. To do this, we will need to send the time command by pressing space and then enter in the enter text field. We will then repeat this process to verify that the time advances, confirming that the clock is functioning properly. We will now use the extra information command by typing D and hitting enter. If everything is working correctly, you should see a message that displays the transmitter output voltage, current, and power of the system. This message also displays the magnetometer sensor noise, received voltage, internal temperature, and depth. And if your system has an altimeter, you will see an additional field labeled A for altitude. We will now test the polarization circuit. To activate the polarization circuit, type the command R. Now type the D command again. You should see a message similar to this one here. The polarization circuit should draw an additional 30 to 60 milliamps of current. You can verify this by checking the current reading. It's worth noting that this variability can be attributed to both internal and environmental factors. Once you have confirmed the additional current, deactivate the polarization circuit by typing R again. We will now zero the depth sensor. If you are on a vessel, bring the magnetometer to the surface when performing this command. If you are on land, no action is needed. We will type the P command and then press Y to zero the depth sensor. If it is working correctly, you will see the zero pressure set. We will now conduct an environmental test to verify that the magnetometer is in an optimal location for testing sensor function. To do this, type the O command. You should see a message showing a series of tests and if they have passed. If a test fails, try rerunning it, as ambient noise might be the issue. If it fails repeatedly, move the SeaSPY2 to a new location to avoid interference. The environmental test passing confirms that your equipment is in a suitable location to test the sensor function. To do this, we will now take some readings. We will type the 3 command to begin cycling the mag at 1 Hz. You should take 5 to 10 sample readings before stopping the cycling with the 0 command. Each reading should look similar to the ones on the screen. There are a few key values that we need to confirm in these readings. The S value should be between 130 and 200 for good quality readings. The MS reading should be 965 if the magnetic field reading, or the F value, is above 42,000, and if it's below 42,000, it should be 465. Finally, the Q value should always be 99. If it isn't, the SeaSPY2 is not functioning properly. If all of these tests pass, your SeaSPY2 is fully operational and ready for your survey. If any of these tests have failed, you should contact support via the Marine Magnetics website through the support form, or you can email support@marinemagnetic.com. Thank you.